The iPhone 14 is coming soon, and it's bringing with it some big changes and some must-have upgrades. Apple's also working on a brand new Apple Watch, some massively upgraded AirPods Pro, and one other special product that when it launches will change the iPhone forever, and not in a good way. As we always do here on the Apple Circle, let's break down the latest Apple leaks, news, and rumors that you need to know about, including the 5 biggest products launching from Apple before the end of 2022. They're coming soon, and also let me tell you why those big changes and those big products are going to signal the end of the iPhone. Get ready to say goodbye. It's gonna be sad, but this guy, it's going away. And a big thanks to Ugreen for sponsoring this video. This video is jam-packed with lots of big Apple news, and there is so much to discuss that I just need to stop with the intro and get right into it because Apple has a very busy fall in store for us. There are lots of great new products coming soon, and let's start with the biggest, the best. That's of course the iPhone 14. As of right now, this is our best look yet at the iPhone 14 lineup. That includes the iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Max, iPhone 14 Pro, and Pro Max. And as you can see here, that big rumored redesign is not coming this year. There is no USB-C port, there's no crazy change. It's gonna be more of an incremental year for the iPhone, but still some big upgrades are here, and maybe a signal that the iPhone is no longer Apple's top priority or their crown jewel. Maybe it's been sort of replaced by something else, something more exciting, but more on that in a bit. First off, we got to acknowledge that the notch is kind of going away, at least on the Pro models. This is Apple's new double hole punch system. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to call it. Basically, it is now the successor to the notch, and it's going to basically give you the full power and functionality of Face ID by giving you a little bit more screen real estate on your screen to actually use. This is only going to be on the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max. It's sort of this new double hole punch system, and it's unclear how this is going to differ from the notch, if at all, and how Apple is going to utilize that extra space that you now sort of regain with this new system. Obviously, it's not the sort of notchless, hole punchless iPhone that we've all been waiting for, but at least it's a step in the right direction. One of the other most noticeable changes here with the iPhone 14 lineup is an all-new model. This is the iPhone 14 Max. It is the replacement to the mini iPhone from the 12 and the 13, and yeah, if you didn't already know, there is not going to be an iPhone 14 mini. Instead, there's going to be a big guy here, the iPhone 14 Max. This is basically like the Pro Max minus the Pro features. So it's not going to have a ProMotion display. It's not going to have a triple camera setup, not have ProRes video, a lot of those Pro higher end features. But what it is gonna give you is a really nice, beautiful 6.7-inch OLED display and sort of give you the creature comforts of a bigger iPhone at a cheaper price than the 14 Pro Max. We're not exactly sure what the price is gonna be, but probably at least $100 to $300 less than the sort of top-end 14 Pro Max. The other big change here that is a really big deal if you take a lot of photos and videos on your iPhone is the main camera upgrade coming to the Pro iPhone 14s, and that is the jump, finally, from a 12-megapixel main camera all the way up to a 48-megapixel main camera. Apple's rumored to be using pixel binning technology to sort of give you more versatile photos and hopefully better videos out of this sort of larger megapixel main camera, and hopefully we also see some sort of improvements, you know, the basic stuff, smart HDR, better ProRes video support, maybe an upgrade to cinematic video mode as well. Basically more refinements, improvements, and features when it comes to the camera on your iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max. Now the iPhone 14 and 14 Max are also getting some camera upgrades, just not the significant jump that is reserved only for those Pro models. All iPhone 14 models will give you a better selfie camera system here with a better autofocusing capability built in, and also a little bit more light that can be let into that sensor as well for a little bit more of a sharper, shallower depth of field image if you're into that sort of thing on the front of your iPhone. We've also got some new rumors that suggest that finally this year, after sort of a weird year last year, the always-on mode will be coming to the iPhone 14 this year, but only reserved for the 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. We don't exactly know what it's gonna look like or exactly how it's gonna work, but we're assuming it's gonna be similar to the Apple Watch, where you can sort of look down at your phone, see some info at a glance, and your phone screen is sort of always on, or at least the pixels that need to be illuminated are illuminated here in this always on mode. No word on how it's gonna work, battery life impacts, all that stuff, but that could be coming as a special feature only to the 14 Pro phones. And of course, beyond the big stuff making headlines here, there's lots of other little changes expected to come to these phones as well, like new colors. We should see a new processor in the Pros. We should hopefully get some more RAM. RAM, some different storage configuration options, maybe that secret satellite tech is finally ready, and maybe no SIM slot on the iPhone 14 as well. Lots of last minute changes, of course, will come to the 14, and I think that, you know, it's gonna be a pretty worthwhile upgrade for many people out there. Maybe not if you've got a 13, but if you've got a 12 or 11, it should be a good year for you. But putting all that to the side for a moment, I think that there's an even bigger story here with the iPhone 14, one that signals a dramatic shift for Apple's attention, and one with a lot more controversy and juicy drama. Something to keep in mind this year is that the iPhone is launching sort of in the shadow of a much bigger project. This mixed reality AR/VR headset is set to launch sometime this year, if not sometime next year, and when it launches, it's going to change everything. That is not hyperbole. That is not me being dramatic. From those familiar with the project and analysts who have closely followed Apple's moves, past, present, and now future, everyone agrees this is gonna be a really big deal and sort of signal the end of the iPhone as we know it. And I'm really curious to see how Apple positions the iPhone 14 when they know this headset is gonna be launching either shortly after it or sometime in the next 12 months or so along the iPhone 14's life cycle. And I'll talk more about this in a moment once we talk about some other projects, but just think about sort of the iPhone 8's announcement with the iPhone 10. iPhone 8 is still a great phone as it sort of stood alone, but when everybody saw the iPhone 10, that's where everybody's focus went. And I think that this year, the iPhone 14 might be overshadowed by something much bigger and much more exciting. Now, before we continue with more on what Apple is planning to launch this fall, let me talk about something you need to get right now to totally upgrade your device and take your charging experience to a whole new level. And the best way to do that is by picking up this, an amazing charger made by this video sponsor, Ugreen. This super sleek silver cube is the Ugreen Nexode 100 watt charger. And as the name suggests, it can push 100 watts of power to recharge your devices. It's got a great mix of 3 USB-C ports and a USB-A port, so you can easily plug in your phone, your tablet, your laptop, and plenty of other devices and get them all recharged, juiced up, and good to go, ready for you to use again in like no time. And one of the most incredible things about this is just the small size. With the super advanced GaN chip inside and the foldable plug, this thing collapses to fit right in the palm of your hand. So it's super pocketable, portable, super easy to throw this thing into a bag or backpack. And even with that small size, you are in no way sacrificing with quality or power. And with the latest GaN chipset inside, you're gonna be able to charge your devices way faster than you're normally used to. For example, you can charge an iPhone 13 to 60% in just 30 minutes, or fully charge the big boy 16-inch MacBook Pro in just an hour and a half. In fact, this is 3 times faster than that puny little original iPhone charger that you just never want to use again. The Ugreen Nexode 100 watt charger is just fantastic. I really love it. I know you guys will love it as well. If you guys want to pick one up for yourself today, hit the link right down below in the description to learn more and get one for yourself right now. I want to sort of focus on another area of Apple's product lineup that is causing a lot of drama, controversy, just a lot of back and forth and some fighting going on in the Apple rumor mill. And that is all around this, the all-new Apple Watch. Well, this is a Series 7, but I'm of course talking all about the all-new Apple Watch Series 8. That's because some new rumors have surfaced that sort of suggest that Apple might be actually giving us that long-rumored sort of flat-edged, boxy industrial redesign that was supposed to come last year with the Apple Watch Series 7. And there's been a lot of controversy around the Series 7, and I am in the camp of those who believe that the Series 7 that Apple showed off was not what we originally were supposed to get, but that's sort of besides the point. If you want to hear more about my crazy Apple conspiracy theories and all that stuff, I talk about it at length with Matt Gonzalez on the Apple Circle podcast. I'll leave that link down below. But in short, we might be seeing a redesign to the Apple Watch Series 8, but let me be clear that as of right now, this could come, this could not come, or one of the theories is that this is only going to be reserved for a new special sort of rugged sport edition Apple Watch that should be launching this year. Whether all Apple Watches feature this new redesign or not, we also know some other things are of course coming as well. Some processor upgrades, improvements to battery life, hopefully speed on the Apple Watch, maybe a bit of a brighter display or maybe some minor display tweaks coming as well. And then of course, one of the Apple Watch's biggest areas of focus and concentration is all about health. Maybe Apple's gonna build a body temperature monitor into the Series 8, maybe some sleep apnea sensors or some diagnostics could be built in to the all-new Series 8. Of course, one of the most long-standing and sort of most talked about Apple Watch rumors is this unobtrusive blood glucose monitor, and although that has been tested for years and years, it seems like it's on the horizon, but not ready just yet this year with the Series 8. Maybe next year, but probably not happening this fall. Now, what very well could be the best and most exciting upgrade to come out of Apple this fall could be this all new AirPods Pro 2. Believe it or not, the original AirPods Pro launched all the way back in the fall of 2019. It was sort of a different world back then, and now finally an all-new version is coming with some massive upgrades and some really cool features. One of the biggest changes expected to come with AirPods Pro 2 is the removal of the stem. Either it's going to shrink significantly down on this new AirPods Pro model, or Apple's going to basically remove it altogether, sort of giving us a design similar to Beats Fit Pro. And along with this new design, Apple could be building some health sensors into the buds themselves to give you some fitness monitoring capabilities. Every year there's always speculation of new colors coming to AirPods Pro 2. Maybe that's gonna happen this year or not. The case should also be getting a redesign. And then also, what could be one of the biggest upgrades to come to AirPods Pro 2 is a new lossless audio streaming mode that might give you higher quality, higher fidelity audio streaming to your AirPods Pro 2 that is either being done by bypassing Bluetooth or maybe being done with some new codec in conjunction with Bluetooth to give you basically wireless, lossless audio in AirPods Pro 2. So as exciting as all this is, and it's cool to sort of talk about all the big upgrades and features coming this fall to the entire lineup, I think that there's sort of a bigger story behind the scenes that is shortly going to emerge that's really gonna change Apple's entire product lineup, most notably with the iPhone, and that, like I mentioned earlier, is with the Apple Mixed Reality headset. And the reason this is such a big deal is that this is really supposed to change Apple's direction moving forward. It's gonna take up a lot of their stage time, a lot of their development resources. A lot of developers might be shifting from developing, apps for iOS and iPadOS that they've been doing for years and years over to this new headset. It's really going to be a big shift because it's predicted by everybody to really be the beginning of a new era and really change everything. And I'm really curious to see how the iPhone is going to sort of stack up to this and how Apple positions future iPhone models. If the rumors are true and we see a launch sometime in the next 12 months or so in 2023, then the story is going to change for the iPhone 14. Because this has been Apple's sort of crown jewel for many, many years. Does the iPhone sort of coexist with this headset? Do the two sort of work together? Or is this gonna be the beginning of sort of the end of the iPhone? I think it was analyst Ming-Chi Kuo who says that once this headset launches, it's basically a countdown for the end of the iPhone, that in 10 years or less, we're all not gonna be carrying phones in our pockets, but have a headset or smart glasses on our face, basically doing the same thing. This might be the case of the iPod and the iPhone. The iPod on its own was an incredible product. It changed the world, it revolutionized Apple, it was amazing. But once the iPhone came out, it was still a great product, but everybody knew where sort of the ball was going. This was going to be the future, and this obviously, as everybody's predicted, it changed everything. And that's really the concern with the headset, is when this headset comes out, it's gonna sort of be the beginning of the end for the iPhone. As always though, guys, I wanna know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the iPhone 14 upgrades coming this fall, on the Apple Watch? Do you think it's gonna get a redesign? What are your thoughts on AirPods Pro 2? And your thoughts on sort of Apple's sort of plans moving forward. Do you think this headset is going to be a really big deal? Do you think it's been building and building for a major release? Or do you think it's gonna be a disappointment, or just not change the world like the iPod, iPhone, and Apple Watch, and they say iPad? Do you think it's not gonna be as big of a deal as those products, or do you think this is going to be the beginning of a much different Apple? Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, we can discuss down there, and to sort of agree, disagree with me, let me know your thoughts and we can talk below about all that stuff. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you all in the next one.